but we have the inaugural AOS Spotlight, and our premier artist and guest is none other than Blackbeard A Poet. Insert fanfare and applause. How's it going today?
I'm doing well.
Blackbeard is a dope name. Now, is there anything deeper to the name other than the fact that you have a black beard? Like, how did you come up with that name?
Honestly, that is the only thing to the name. Because I'm black and my beard is black.
Hey.
Nothing to do with the pirate.
Gotcha. At what point did you decide to pursue spoken word? How did you find your voice as a poet?
It's years ago. Just started writing. Honestly, it came more so. Most of the things I've done, creative-wise, came from boredom. Boredom at work, just sitting there and not doing much of anything. You do that long enough, you come up with some shit.
So you didn't know any poets, were there any spoken word artists that you had came across, like, I think I could do this?
I honestly, and I always tell this to people, I honestly don't like listening to anybody else. I find a lot of times with me, I'll start writing like different people.
Mm-hmm.
The longer I listen to them, I start to write like them. So I try to stay away from actually listening to anybody. But there is one poet, his name is Ghost Poet. Probably just got him some more views on his YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But he's dope. He's from UK. Yeah, he do his thing. He's nice. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to check him out.
Yeah.
You might have to put a link on the site.
Definitely.
Check out Ghost Poet.
Definitely.
If it's recommended by Blackbeard, I know it's gonna be dope. So what aspects of life here on Earth influence you? What inspires you to write? What do you experience that makes you go, I gotta pick up this pen and put it to paper?
Life, just the nature of it, just watching people walk through life, the different masks that they wear, just observation. A lot of times, a lot of things I write just come from observation, and, reflection, self-reflection and observation. For the most part.
So, observation. I noticed that you have a spiritual tint to a lot of what you write.
Mm-hmm.
So explain where you at in regards to where your walk is, where you are at. Not religion. That religion is just making it too narrow.
Okay.
Your spirituality is, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that coming from, and how does that influence what you write?
Well, it's been a journey for me personally. I think at some point everybody looks for a power outside of themselves, and I found that. Well, first of all, I meditate a lot, and you find all kinds of stuff there. You sit quietly long enough, you'll figure out some things about this world and about this life. But I believe in God. I believe that He exists, and He will eventually come back to free the slaves, and that's what I look forward to every day.
So in the opinion of Blackbeard, who are the slaves?
Who are the slaves?
Yes, sir.
Well, we've been here for roughly 300 and last time I checked, like 397. About 400 years. We are, when we look at the similarities between the book of Exodus and Moses leading them out of Egypt, you see a lot of the similarities in our situation now. And I encourage a lot of people to look into that because you'll find some things there, mainly for blacks. Mainly for blacks.
Basically, Africans in the Western world.
See, when you say Africans, nah, we're not talking about Africans. I actually had this conversation the other day. Because they like to tell us that Africans so Africans, when that wasn't the case. When you look into the history, you go back to the siege of Jerusalem, and if you read the Bible at all, you understand that the children of Israel always had ties to the people in Egypt, always. Since Joseph was like second under Pharaoh. Moses was in Egypt as well. So once you understand that the Egyptians were black, which is another hurdle that you got to jump, especially in the society that we live in now. That's another hurdle. But once you understand that the Egyptians were black, you'll draw the line between who the children of Israel are and who we are today. If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Cool.
What you just explained to me, basically you took me to school. So I think it, to me, shows also the potential you have to use your gift to teach people through your work. Have you thought about that?
About teaching people? Yeah. I mean, like one-on-one, it's important that people understand who they are. One of the reasons why, and I'll speak on this now just because of the climate that we're in as far as this year has been hectic for black people, but we suffer from low self-esteem as a people, and one of the reasons for that is we don't have an identity. When you look at most of the other people on this planet, they have something that they look to. When it comes to us, we're looking to the best slave. Like our identity has been wiped. That's really important, especially for a man, that he has something to look up to, that he has something to look to as far as a guide to success, when you look at people like Donald Trump, right? Trump is who he is today because he had a guide. He had something to look to. When he looks into his past, he sees King this and King that, Edward and Henry and all these kings. When we look back into our past, all we have is the best slave, and I believe that's all done by design, though. That's how you destroy people. That's how you enslave people. You give them nothing. You give them nothing to look to. They put bullets in the heads of all our leaders. Malcolm dead, Martin dead. So now when you look at what we would consider leaders today, we look at our entertainers, and they're not doing too good. I think they dropped the ball, and On many aspects, I think they drop the ball.
Is there anyone who you feel is in the entertainment world now who is providing that example, who is that leader that Black people can look to and take cues from?
Ooh, that's rough. Honestly, if you're not speaking on who these people are, it's almost impossible to bring them out of that mindset of oppression they are in. They are oppressed. But there's a lot of people that I like there's a CNN correspondent, Mark Lamont, real smart guy. I like him, and there's a few other people, man, but it's more. We tried all these things already. Like we tried all these things. It's tired, you know. We've exhausted a lot of different avenues. So, I don't know. But I think that the answers, we need to get into that book.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the answers that we're looking for is in there. That new movie coming out, Birth of a Nation? Birth of a Nation. Yeah. He was the first person that really went into that Bible and understood that, look, they're talking about us. They're talking about us as a people. And I knew it was going to be a problem, first of all. I heard they're trying to get him on rape charges or something like that.
Back in, I think, in 2000.
Yeah, all right. So I knew eventually, because the movie is about a revolution. The movie is about slaves rising up, and
I was actually shocked when I found out a major Hollywood studio put money behind it, considering the subject matter.
yeah, wow. You know what company?
I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think it's Fox Searchlight. I gotta double check to be sure.
Wow. Especially right now, for that movie to come out, I think it's gonna be big, and I recommend everybody go see it. It's a message in there for you. But I knew it was gonna be a problem. I knew somehow they was gonna come up with something, and they did. You know, right? They got Chris Brown on the same shit, some raping somebody shit. Yeah. These scandals would just pop up out of nowhere. I don't know, conveniently.
Well, you mentioned earlier, it's by, not by.
Yes, exactly. It's all about the design.
So you brought up Chris Brown. He's in the realm of music. Have you ever considered combining your spoken word with music? 'Cause I heard a piece you did online called Submerged, and the cadence that you used, kind of like a sing-songy type of cadence. I was like, wow. I wonder if Blackbeard would ever consider, bringing musical accompaniment into the mix.
I've thought about it. The Miles, the guy I work with, he always brings up this music thing. I don't know. I never really put music behind nothing. Honestly, I'm trying to stay away from the whole rapper concept. That's tired of rapping. So everybody's a rapper. That street ain't was so big, we can't all walk down that street. So I try to steer away from the music, but after actually doing some poetry and listening to it with some music in the background, you can't really avoid it. Everybody like a nice beat. So I guess you really want to get your message out.
Has there ever been a point in your creative journey where you were younger, you're like, I want to do hip-hop or try rap, or has that ever been on your radar in regards to a viable way of expressing yourself?
Yeah. I can't say it has. I honestly, I grew up on hip-hop. I think most of us did. But I just wanted to stay so far away from that whole stereotype that I never really got into rapping and shit like that. And then what are you gonna rap about? You know, it's hard to rap about anything. If you're gonna be a success in this America, you need to rap about things that honestly destroy your people. And I guess I just was never really into destroying my people. So,
Yeah, one final question for you, brother. Where does Blackbeard see himself in his work? I say maybe 2 or 3 years from now. What is your future plan? Do you even plan that far into the future in regards to where you want to be artistically?
I do not, honestly. I used to, but my philosophy is to be happy, especially in this life, is to want for nothing. So I just kind of let it flow. I think a lot of stress, depression, anxiety, it comes from chasing things, and there is no satisfaction in these things. You'll chase things to the end of the earth, and you'll never really be satisfied. You'll never be happy. So just kind of let it flow as it comes.
Take it day by day.
Day by day. Day by day.
That is a wrap. I appreciate you rolling with the questions.
I appreciate you coming out here.
Doing more than one word answers. Yeah, you gave us a lot of gold.
No doubt, man.
A lot of gold nuggets.
No doubt, no doubt.
Nuggets and some jack on top of that.
That's what's up. Hey, feel free, man.